Welcome back, friends. This is Solomon Jagwe. I'm back with another quick insight and tutorial. Today we're gonna be discussing, or not discussing, but I'm gonna be showing you how I was able to bring this clip to life. And this is rendered in the Unreal Engine 5, but I started off with the Unreal Engine 4. So let me go ahead and play this clip real quick.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So the idea again was I wanted this realistic environment to place these two MetaHuman kids and like a dance off at home, something like really fun. And so that's what it got me on this path of how would I be able to animate these MetaHumans within this environment. So two things that I had to do was first I had to find an environment, and so I went to the marketplace, the Epic Games marketplace, and found this apartment. And then I had to create the MetaHuman characters. I wanted to show you the behind the scenes of how that I was able to make that. But I wanted to be able to relight this scene because I know by default the lighting wouldn't, capture the highlights on some of these clothing. So I would have to add some new lights in here. And this animation was made possible because I was using iClone. So iClone has really become my favorite animation program right now with animating MetaHumans because I'm able to do the body and facial animation. So this tutorial is going to focus mainly on the body animation of how I was able to connect the iClone animation to drive these MetaHumans. Okay, so let me minimize this. Let's see if MetaHuman is coming back. Yes, it's coming back. All right. And so the collection of MetaHumans that I've made right here, and you can see Ruha. I named him Ruha. I'm always thinking of, again, storytelling. So I want my characters to have like backstories. I'm giving them real names. My name, okay, names that I come up with. But these are the two kids that I was thinking about animating, and they're teenagers. So because right now we don't have babies, you can't really make babies in the MetaHuman creator. But I wanted twin teens, a girl and a boy, and they'll be like at home with their dance off. Okay. So he's the boy, the young boy, and I was able to go to create MetaHuman. I went through the process, and I was able to create this character, and you can see how beautiful he looks. And actually, if I zoom out, you can see that by the time that I did the first animation, I didn't have the shots, but this is an updated version, so it actually gives me an opportunity for you guys to see what, like, if their alternate clothing coming up, what they look like on the MetaHuman. So that was the character that I made, the boy, and then also the little girl, the not the little, but the teenage girl, Moshana. So those are the ones that I went through. And as guys know, those of you who have used the MetaHuman Creator, you only have about an hour per session. So you have to make it count. So I was moving fast trying to create these characters. And the fact that I'm able to create them real quick was because there's a whole template system in here. So once I created the MetaHuman characters, now I was ready to animate them. So one of the things that you have to get, this is very crucial, and I've done another tutorial before this that walks you through the whole process, but let me just do a quick run through again. You go to Reallusion and go to this link. So if you go to the Reallusion homepage and click on this link right here, it's going to take you to this page. Okay, and on this page, it's an overview of how you can use iClone and the iClone Live link to animate the MetaHumans. And so you need to go and get the tools over here. Now, it's very important, guys. Remember this. You have to have an account. You have to have an account with a Reallusion, and for you to get these tools. And you also have to have iClone. So let me go to this page where I am actually logged in as myself. And I'm gonna go to the same link. Let me try to go back to Reallusion over here and click on the same link. And when I click on Get Tools over here, it's going to take me to the bottom of this page. And this is where you click to redeem the iClone MetaHuman Library Kit. And the reason why this is important is that when you click on it, as long as you have a membership with Reallusion, you'll be able to download this. Okay, so go ahead and download the kit. It's going to go into your downloads folder. And let me bring that up. So here it is. I'm going to right click on this and extract it here so we can see what's in it. Double click on it. And so these are the things that you need to be able to make the iClone drive the MetaHumans. First, in the content folder, you need to copy these two folders. Right click and copy, and then go to your MetaHuman project, which is right here, and then right click and paste. Okay, so it's going to overwrite a bunch of files in here. And another thing that you're going to need, if you go back here, are the MetaHuman dummies. If you double click on this, these are the 18 files that you find in here that are the different, so they are labeled with the gender of the character, the size, and then the weight of the character. So our character that I did, the one that I'm using right now, this one, if you go to the create MetaHuman, I'm actually going to duplicate so I don't mess up my character. All right, that's just a hint. Always duplicate your character if you want to create a variation of it. But under the type here, you can see for me to make a kid-like model, I had to go down to make sure that character is short, that she's female. So this is overweight and this is medium weight. This is underweight. And same thing for the boy. I had to do the same thing over here. The boy is using this underweight, short profile, this body type. And so that is very important. Oh, remember this, because once you get to this folder and you're creating, when you're working with the blueprint, this is going to be very, very important. So just off the bat, I just want you to remember that our character is the female teenager is a female. She's short, and she's using the underweight body right here. So that is important. Just keep that in mind. And for the boy, he's gonna be male. He's gonna be short, and he's gonna be underweight over here. The underweight. So those are the things that to keep in mind. So those are this kit right here makes these things possible. And thank you so much to Reallusion for making this possible, because finally we can animate the MetaHumans effortlessly. All right. Now that we have this kit installed in our folder, something else I'm going to point out, guys. When you go to iClone, right? So you want that those dummy folders, the dummy files. Let's see, where's that folder again? Let's go back here. These files right here, right? I'm going to copy this folder, okay? And we want it to be in this the template, the character template over here. And by default, it's going to start off with the template, but we want it to have, we want it to be in the custom folder under the character subfolder in here. And I try to organize myself, organize my folders. So I'm just gonna let me just do something real quick. I'm gonna double click in here because I want it to be. Right click in this folder right here and click on Find File. And this is where the custom folder is for Reallusion. So under character, and you could paste it here, but for me, because I try to be organized, I'm gonna put it in let's see, no, not the backup, sorry, in 2021, and we're gonna put it in here, paste. All right, so those are dummies. And when I go back here, you're gonna see that the folder is showing up, and these are all the dummy templates that we're gonna be using. So these dummy templates are gonna be the ones that are driving the character in the Unreal Engine and the MetaHumans. So this step is very, very important. Okay, this is the technical part. These are the things that you have to do before you get to the fun. I love the fun part, but I also realize how important the technical aspect of this is. And so we have to do it. We just have to do it. Okay, and this is assuming that you've already copied your those two folders from this folder right here in the content. these ones need to come in here. You can right click and paste in the content folder and paste them in here. Okay, so now that I have mine, pasted, let me go back to the Unreal Engine, and in the Quixel bridge, your model is going to show up right here. And so when you're ready, by default, it's going to have an arrow like this. When you click on that, it's going to process. And once it's ready, it's going to switch to this icon, like an export icon. So like, for example, Moshana, I just click on export and should be exported to the Unreal Engine. Okay. And then once comes to the Unreal Engine, so there's going to be a bunch of processes where it's, processing the textures and all that. But once it's done, it's going to be in the MetaHumans folder here. Okay. So there's Moshana. And if we drag her into the Unreal Engine right here, this is just a default empty level. So you can see she's there. She has shorts on. And if we go to Ruha, our kid brother or friend, could be either. So those are the two kids that I'm going to be working with, and you can see the shorts are in there. Okay. So, but because I wanted a better environment than just a default one, I'll show you what I was able to find. It's called the Modern Studio Apartment. So I double click on that, go to the maps folder, double click on I don't want to save that. So this is the environment. So it's almost like location scouting, like when you're making a film. I had to go through a bunch of apartments, like visiting apartments. But this one looked really cool because I was like, I needed space. I needed enough space for the characters to dance around. Okay. So just as a disclaimer, not disclaimer, but just something to point out. This apartment, when you move it, you can see the light is already baked, right? So I didn't want to move the couch, but fortunately, when I moved the table, it looked like that one, at least there wasn't too much baked shadows. And I mean, you can still see it, but I was able to move this over here. It's amazing how this looks. And I moved this over there as well. You can see, you see that? So that I had to rebuild some of the lighting, and I also had to relight the environment to look like the clip. So when you see this video playing, you notice that the lighting is a little bit different, right? And there's some things that I added just to just tune it up a little bit, make it have enough space. And in this video, you notice that those black spots on the ground are not there. So let me go back. Yeah, so they're gone, and that's because I was able to relight the environment. We got back to Unreal Engine, and let me bring up the one that I was able to relight, and that's gonna be, so what I did is saved a copy of this level, of this apartment level, and then saved it into my levels folder here, and I called it Living Room Dream. Don't save, and so this is the one that is relit, and you can see the lighting is different now. Okay, and there's Ruha in the living room. She showed up. You see, I moved the chairs around. So I have a light coming over here. And this is the floor. I have another light, a rectangular light coming from the window, and some cameras in here. All right. So let's press the G key to hide some of these elements. And let's talk about the characters. So now that I have the set ready, I can go back to the MetaHumans, and let's bring up Ruha, and let's put him here as well. There you go. So because of the lighting, he looks great, because I knew that when he started running around, I did a quick test just to see the amount of space that he would need, like in the video. So once the character is in here, and you can see the lighting coming from the left-hand side, it looks great, guys. So this is Unreal Engine 4. And so when the one that you see, this video that you see here, this was rendered in Unreal Engine 5. So the technique again is to first animate everything inside of the Unreal Engine 4. This is 4.26.2. and then open a copy of this environment and the characters and the text in the Unreal Engine 5, so you can get that really nice lumen writing. Okay, but first, so by the recording of this video, the link, so the Unreal Live link for iClone uh, hadn't been updated to work in Unreal Engine 5. So that's why if you're watching this video in the future and the plugin has been updated, then you may not need to do this. You may actually, you'll be able to render inside of the Unreal Engine 5 and do all this inside of the Unreal Engine 5. But for now, for those of us in the current present, but not in the future, who are using Unreal Engine 4.26.2, and for those, I think 4.27 is also coming out soon. Plugins have not been updated yet, and I can't wait to check that out inside of that as well. But this is what we're using right now. So we have our character. So now comes the technical aspect of it to make it work. And so first, if I go to iClone over here, remember the model. So a good way to find out what this model is, you can go to body over here, scroll down, and you can see male, short, underweight. So that's how you know which character we're going to be using. Okay. So once we have our characters in here, and preferably you want to change the settings to be like low settings for now. We'll be able to update that. Go ahead and press save, because this is going to be animation, and then when it comes to rendering, we'll be able to go to all the way up, increase the quality. So we're going to start with Ruha. We need to edit his blueprint. So we go ahead and select the body over here. You can actually see in the, make sure that it's selected in the viewpoint. Then in the event graph, we need to switch this out to use animation blueprint for sure. And then we need to use the corresponding body type. And that's going to be medium, short, and weight. So click on that. All right. Save just to be sure. I like saving consistently, so I don't have to redo this because Unreal Engine sometimes crashes. But okay, so browse to it and double click on it. So now that we found it, and all right, so we're gonna create a live link pause node between these two to activate the live link. So we're gonna drag this out, and we're gonna look for live link pause. Okay, and we can connect this part right to the source. And again, I just keep saving just to be sure. And then we need to promote this to a variable. Okay, and then save and make sure you compile. All right, next we need to go back to the body. So we go back to the event graph, and we need select the skeletal animation component that we need to add over here. So make sure the body is selected, and go to add component, live link, skeletal animation. Because the reason we're doing this is we want to be able to animate this live inside of the Unreal Engine. So whatever we do, like once we have the character driving the MetaHuman inside of iClone, we'll be able to see this in real time over here in the viewport. So just compile, save. I just keep making sure that this is, saved all the time. Saving. Okay. So make sure you select live link, and then over here on this event, we just enable that to add one right there. Then we're going to drag the body out here as well, and then we're going to add a node here. It's going to be anim instance. And then we're going to add a cast 2 here, and male. So we want to use the cast to male short underweight animation blueprint. So this makes it easier to animate the character exactly as you see it in the viewport right here, especially the MetaHumans, to be able to connect it properly from iClone. Let's add another node here, live link, set live link subject name, and then we're just going to connect these two right here. And since we're just doing the body again, let's just duplicate this right here, and we're just going to name this body. Bring it in here. And connect it over there. All right, save. And we're not there yet, just one more step. This is I wanted to add a live link setup function at the end. Okay, so we're getting there. And let's plug this right here. Just gonna save because you don't want to lose all the work that you've done. And okay, so this is the body of our character, and it's gonna be the target. And just drag and drop it right here. Save and compile. All right. So those are the steps we went through, and I mean, like I said, Reallusion did another tutorial that they have like technical descriptions of everything right here. But for you and I, you know, who are indie filmmakers, and you're just trying to get, this is just a quick step for you, a quick insight to get you started. You may not need to know every single bit, but as long as you plug this in the right place, it does help to know everything. But if you follow these steps, you'll be able to get started. And once you have this done, the character is going to be reusable every time you need to add more animation. You don't have to do this again. Okay. So let's, I think it's time to do like a quick test to see if it actually works. And the last step is we also need to connect this over here and press save. Compile and save. It makes me smile when I see these things connected like that. It's like, oh, it's working, and animation is flowing through. That is so cool. I get excited about these processes because I remember when I was starting out and I was brand new to the Unreal Engine. Things seem so complicated, and they still do. But as you dig deeper into it, some things realize you can actually copy and paste and duplicate and all that and repurpose. There's a lot of repurposing that can be done inside of the Unreal Engine. That's what's really cool about it. All right. So we would have to do the same, the same process that we did here. We would have to do the same for Ruha. But I'm just going to do a quick test for, rather, I was meant Moshana, the teenage girl. But we're going to do a quick test to see if this is actually working. Okay. So next step is to bring up iClone. So we go to iClone and bring up the MetaHuman Dummies folder in here. And we need to use the exact body type that that was created for this specific character. It's going to be male, short, underweight. So this one right here. So just double click on that, comes into the scene. I know it doesn't look like a kid, but that's fine. That's just the way the body type was created. Okay. So, and then we have to go up to plugins up at the top and bring up the Unreal Live link over here. And we don't need the lights, we don't need the camera, no props, just this guy right here. And go to link and then activate. Now, before you do activate the link, make sure that the Unreal Engine, the live link is active. So you click on source, go to iClone, click OK. And so we're receiving the data, and then we go back to iClone and activate the link. Okay, so it looks like it's always a good sign when you see green. That means they are connected properly. But as you can tell, there's no animation just yet. So we need to bring up our animation. I'll go to plugins, go to smart gallery, and we're gonna go to animation. And I'm gonna be, let me see if I can use the same pack that I used in the demo video. So it's gonna be street dancing. Yep. Okay. So let's try which one? Groove, opening move. Let's try this one. Okay. All right. So as you can tell, and this was really important, like when I play back, nothing is happening here. And I'm glad that happened. So I'll go back and make sure for Ruha, but there's no facial animation, just we just use the body for now. Okay. So here you go, guys. When we play back in iClone over here, you can see him. Boom. All right. So rewind. And what I like doing also as well is add an empty actor over here. Let's press the G key to bring back the game display components. And then I'm going to call this Ruha actor. All right. And that's the reason I'm doing this is so I can actually put Ruha with my BP Ruha. All right. Let's call it BP Ruha then. BP Ruha. So they're next to each other. And I'm going to drag and drop Ruha in there. So now I can move Ruha in where I want. Go ahead and let's move this up a little bit. And let's play back. Let's size a little bit so we can see more of it. Hold on, let's stop. And the image is like this 3000. So we can see more of that. Play back, wind. And there is it. There it is, guys. So you're able to use iClone to animate the MetaHumans inside of the Unreal Engine, and that is really cool. So now that you know that this is set up, you can add any animation from this gallery right here, and you can blend it. So here's a cool thing that like if you have a character that is in the viewport right here, you can add other animations on here. And something that I wanted to point out as well is that whenever you're doing this, make sure that the timeline is minimized, because it does take away from the frame rates as well. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just gonna keep it minimized for now. But I wanted to show you something else. Fit to window, so like that. And then you can also do another routine, and you can also do, so here it goes from this routine to that, and then over here you can see how I'm blending. I can blend it a little bit more, so it goes right into the groove. So that is how I was able to make that animation with the two kids dancing. And we're gonna go back to iClone. We're gonna make this, this is the out point right here. I'm gonna turn on loop, and let me minimize the timeline again. Rewind, playback, and there's a MetaHuman dancing. Then it blends into the new clip. Very cool. All All right, so you notice how he's moving. So those are the issues that I was thinking about even as I was scoping the different environments. That think of the space that the characters are going to be taking up. So for example, i- he he needs a little bit more room to do all his moves. So I can move him back here, and let's see if we can see him play. All right. I need to move him a little bit over the time. Like he's into the couch. All right. So just be conscious of the different environments where the character is. But that is how I was able to do the animation of these two characters. So the same thing that I did here, you do the same for the Moshana, or whichever character that you make, right? And the addition of this empty actor here makes it possible for me to just move him out of the way so he doesn't run into different parts of the couch, for example. And then I'm able to record and then export. Once I've recorded and done a take of this, then I'm able to send it to the Unreal Engine 5 and render from there. But today, the tutorial was to show you how I was able to do this, the clip of those kids dancing together, and how I was able to use the ActorCore, because the ActorCore has just a wealth of information in terms of animations for kids, for fighting, whatever. So please take advantage of these guys to be able to bring your MetaHumans to life. And if we do, please spare a minute to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already subscribed. Do please click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're added, so you're alerted when I post a new video. But again, thank you so much to Reallusion for making this possible and making these tools available to us so we can animate the MetaHumans. It's just so much fun to be able to do this and bring our stories to life. And I mean, this is it wasn't supposed to be like an in-depth tutorial, but more or less behind the scenes of how I was able to bring these characters to life and create that animation that I showed you. And so if we switch to a higher scalability setting, let's go back over here and just stop, pause this for a second. Go to settings, and actually go back here. Let's do cinematic so we can get all the shadows nice. And so then I'm going to buy iClone, rewind, and it's going to be playing looped. So now I can go around here. Let me press F11 so we can see quality of the space. You can see the motion blur taking on. But that's just again to show you the animation once you switch on the high scalability settings, what it's going to look like. And the characters, he went out and shopping, got some new shorts, and he's dancing around. So this is really cool, guys. So you don't want to record in this setting. You always want to record on a much lower setting, and then when it's done recording, you can set it higher. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me again today. This was again a quick insight into how to use iClone to animate the MetaHumans and bring them to life. And I've done another video that shows the facial animation. So go scouting, go out, look for places where your MetaHumans can play, but always think about how the space is gonna be. But even with that in mind, just know that you still have the ability to edit the mocap so that you place it within the environment that you're working with. So thank you so much, guys. Please stay blessed. And as always, dare to dream big, never give up. Thank you so much, Reallusion team, for making this possible and for helping us to bring our stories to life. See you next time. Bye for now.